Hello everyone, welcome to this section. In this section, we're going to talk about functions in Python. So a function is a block of reusable code that performs a specific task. Functions can help us to organize our code, make it more readable, and reduce repetition. In Python, there are two types of functions: built-in functions that are predefined functions like print, len, input, that so far we've worked with many of them in the previous sections, and user-defined functions, functions that we create ourselves. This is the function that we are going to learn in this section. So how to define and call a function. A function is defined using def keyword followed by the name of the function and parentheses. Here, I want to show how to create a function. We use the def keyword and we name the function. For example, this function name is greet, and then the parentheses. In the parentheses, we will learn later in this section that we can pass some arguments to these parentheses later on in this section. But for now, we just know that we need to put parentheses. Then a colon. After that, we are having this print function here. So this is the built-in function, and this is the user-defined function. And this function is going to print hello world message for us in the terminal. So when I want to call this function, I simply just type down the name of the function followed by parentheses, and then this function is called and this function is executed. So when I run this code, you should see hello world message in the output. So now it's compiling because it's for the first time. It may take a bit of time. Okay, now we're having hello world in the output. We saw that we only had this function call here one time, and one time this function executed, and this function is simply typing down hello world. So if I call this function more than once, this function is going to be executed. Oh, sorry, greet. So when I call this function twice, this function is being called twice, therefore this part is executed twice. So whenever we call the function, the compiler goes up here, starts with the first line of the function, and this function is only have a single line, so it is going to print hello world. So we saw that how we can create a function and how we can call a function. And there are three parts for function to remember: the def keyword, the name of the function, and parentheses. And later on, we'll learn about some arguments that we may want to include in the parentheses. So here we could, instead of calling this function, I could type down print hello world. And if I wanted to have it twice, I could type it down twice. Okay? And then run the code. It was going to do the same thing. However, we are using the function to avoid repetition. Now I'm repeating this line twice. Instead, I'm having this code being executed here once and avoiding the repetition. Okay, and it is increasing the readability. So this is why we use functions. And this is just a very tiny example here. For example, we want a function to do some mathematical operations for us. Whenever we call the function, that function is going to execute a certain block of codes to do the mathematical operations for us. And calling a function is much easier, like twice, 3 times, 4 times. If you want to call a function 4 times, it's much easier to repeat all those mathematical operations in the code 4 times. So it increases the readability of the code as well. So in this section, we're going to focus on functions, and we're going to have more examples of functions later on in this section. Thank you for watching.